All right. Hi, everyone. So we're going to talk about two more pre-Socratic philosophers. First, we're going to talk about Empedocles. So Empedocles comes a little bit later after Heraclitus and Parmenides. And so one interesting thing about Empedocles is that he takes portions of Heraclitus's and Parmenides' views and reworks them into a new view, right? So this class is all about the history of philosophy, and so much of philosophy involves looking backwards, right? Taking ideas and then reworking them and turning them into a new idea or a new set of ideas or a new view. So even in the ancient world, that was still going on, just like it goes on in academic philosophy today. So really interesting. So Empedocles says. Um, that some things don't change, right? So Garner says um, that water, it just stays water, right? The water that's in the cup, it's not going to change, not anytime soon, unless you do something to it. So, like Parmenides is right, like certain things don't change, right? But Heraclitus is also right too. When we look outside and we see all of the change going on in the world, we need not deny that. So we can say that some things change and other things don't change. So these guys are both a little bit right and a little bit wrong. Okay, so Empedocles answers the um, the problem of the one and the many by saying that all four elements are the basic stuff, right? So everything that exists has some combination of earth, fire, wind, and earth. Anyway, has some combination of the four basic elements, right? Or it may just have one, right? So, um, so that's his answer to the problem of the one and the many. You can reduce all matter into something more basic, and those are just various combinations of the four elements. And then lastly, he thinks that there are two forces at work in the world, right? So there's love and there's strife, and when things change, right, um, these are the two forces that are at work, right? So love, the idea is, builds things, puts things together, turns simple things into more complex things, right? So we have maybe earth and air, and then love puts those things together in order to create some new object, whereas strife takes some compound object and turns it into its more basic substances, right? And so these are the forces that go on in nature, he wants to say. So love and strife, one of them puts things together, one of them takes it apart. Okay. So, and this is how he answers the problem of the one and the many and the problem of change as well. So, um, and it's worthy to note that he isn't rejecting the views of his predecessors, but that he's reworking them into a new view, right? He's borrowing from them. Okay, and then the last one for today is Anaxagoras. Um, I think that Anaxagoras is really, really interesting. So he rejects that everything is reducible to some basic element. So, for example, water. So he thinks that Thales is wrong, but he also thinks that it's wrong to say that things are reducible to some set of elements as well. So he thinks, when you take apart a lawnmower, right, you're not going to find some combination of earth, wind, fire, and water, right? Rather, you're going to find something else. Okay, so he doesn't think that the four elements or any subset of the four elements are the basic substance of everything else. So he wants to say that everything is made of seeds. Um, and this is a really interesting view. So he thinks that these seeds contain a little bit of every kind of substance. And those seeds will compose some number of seeds. They're invisible and so small that we can't see them, right? So it may take a million of them to say, put together this pin. But the seeds all have pin stuff within them, right? So they have pin features, but the seeds also have features of every other kind of substance that we could think of. So, so a seed is made out of earth and wind and fire and water and also bone and blood and flesh and eyeballs and pianos and cell phones, right? It's made out of everything, but it just has like mostly, in this case, pin stuff, right? Or if you have a fire, the seeds that compose the fire are made out of mostly fire stuff, right? So the seeds are the basic element, and the seeds also have features of every kind of object that exists, right? So if you have a carrot, right, it wouldn't be wrong to say that there's a little bit of human brain in the carrot, right? Because the carrot is made out of seeds, and these seeds have brain elements as well, but mostly carrot elements, and that's why it's a carrot. So everything is made out of everything else is the idea. And so Anaxagoras also thinks that there's this entity or force called nous. And so nous, the idea is this intellectual or intelligent force that brings about order in the universe. And so the way in which the seeds express various properties comes about by way of this force. This like nous makes it the case that there are mostly pin characteristics here rather than other characteristics, right? So, so the nature and objects are regulated in this intelligent sense by this force called nous, according to Anaxagoras. Okay, so that completes our little talk today on Anaxagoras and Empedocles. Email me if you have any questions. Let me know if I can help you with anything. We're just going to keep trudging along, and I think we'll be our next video will be our last video. So just like I said, let me know if you need anything at all.